got a shot!
For your sake! Live and run!
I was just getting warmed up.
I've seen metal like that, usually behind a very high price tag at a blacksmith's.
There's almost always something worth finding in ruins like these. If, that's what you're looking for.
Not looking so good. My turn. Right with you. Come and get me!
Worse and rough! Worse and rough!
You're a good friend. We got them all.
One moment. You take it.
Worse than rot! Thee sink!
Next one's mine. On your right. Nice right. Stay. Hey! Over here! One moment.
Can't tell you how many ships have come to a bad end.
Careful. There's a reason this place is called Castle's Folly, and it's not because of its whimsical sense of humor.
Not seeing any sign of some magical experiment.
Captain knew this wasn't a ship.
Thee sink!
Here we go.
Thee sink! Thee sink!
What was that?
Watch yourselves.
We make a good squad.
think it's clear something happened here.
This is stupid. It's a waste of time.
Let's see what you got. All right. Good one. Right flank. You're not looking good. Nice work.
Oh, take a breather, folks. Getting out of this alive. Please, please don't hurt us. We're just trying to get this Audra for Captain Bardado before she comes and kills us. Oh, thank the gods. We're not looking for trouble here. We acquired some luminous Audra from the Valian Trading Company, meaning to sell it to Sapienta de Falva in Paradis. My ship sank in a massive storm on the way here, and the Audra was lost. We got to shore, but that's the least of our worries. That's a matter of perspective, isn't it? Our plan was to tell the client we couldn't get the Audra and hide out in Paradis until we knew we were out of trouble. The Valians weren't far behind us. Bardado gave us one last chance. If we could find enough Audra to replace what we lost. Trusting the company is always risky, but not returning the Audra will absolutely get us killed.
Let's go. Oh, you got it. I knew it. Kill yourself. What am I hitting? Help! Time to rally. Couldn't stand a chance.
Appreciate it.
Isaksogu!
Oh, you are a special one, you are. I thought all the godlikes were taken back, wherever they came from. Don't mean a thing by it. I'm glad to see not all the gods have abandoned us. No, of course I'm not drunk. I'm an alchemist. You should know, this place is heading quickly into a swamp of madness. Even the plants and the animals feel it. I am indeed. Though, should I be honored or terrified that my name has found its way to you? Maybe both? Now, linear thinking may not be my forte at this moment, but I get the impression you wanted to speak to me. Ah, interesting. Rarely do cause and effect flow in this particular direction, but I'll go along. Thank you. Thank you! Now my work can continue. Take this. I was saving it for a rainy day, but who knows when that will be. Well, there isn't much interest in alchemy these days. I really don't have much to give, but I give it all to you. Thank you again, my wonderfully unique friend. May you find a kinship with this land.
I'm not one for walking up to altars. Maybe leave this one alone.
We have been here before. Does the new earth settle beneath your feet? The Adra breathes. We shape the mountains. You build your foundation on us too. Now our memory is a wound, reopened. For generations, the Akita wandered the land, seeds in the wind. A storm had tossed them to our shores. They were branches without roots. Then you, Kishimal, were born with our face. Our flowers bloomed in your hair. Your people saw a sign of greatness. A blessing, one with a heavy price. The elders trained you not as a child, but as a paragon. They expected everything. They forgave nothing. The responsibility was like a stone. Help us remember, Kishimal. How did you bear the weight? You faced your work with dignity. You had no other choice. While you feared failure, they rewarded you for your diligence. When you came of age, turmoil stirred. Lightning split the bark. Some tired of their exile. They wanted to return to their ancestral lands. They were born here. They could not even name what they had left behind. A bud opened. A comet streaked across the sky. You had a vision. You dreamed of a city where the sea swept into the wood, a place to flourish, to gather, more than a settlement, a home. What did you envision in your fitful sleep, Kishimal? None lived who remembered the exile, yet still its scars remained. You saw what the Akita could accomplish if they felt safe. So the carpenters and masons set out, but we resisted them. What was a wall to a trailing vine, an arch to a mighty oak? The Akita's fate hung by spider silk. You knew you must adapt. Months became years, and the people stood in awe of what they built. It eclipsed the lands of their ancestors. Its spires challenged the clouds. How did you feel as you gazed upon your masterwork? You had earned your pride, yet a new trial awaited you. The people reasoned that the one who had built the city should lead it. A chorus of their voices joined in one. Another wait. Some claimed that this was the destiny your birth foretold. Tell us, Kishimal, how did you lead? To lead is to serve. You always knew this. We should like that to be our way. In time, others came to revere you for your selflessness. You were an example to be followed. they saw what they themselves could be. So your reign passed, a year into an age. The seas rose and fell until one day, nothing. Silence. We see ash, devastation, a lifetime reduced to dust. We can remember no more, no matter how far we reach back. It is fruitless, a void, a tremor in the Adra. Perhaps it should not be known. Yet one shape shines through the canopy of our memory, a face amid the rubble. You, Kishima, what became of you? They wept with joy as they extracted you. A long night lay before them, but the leader they loved remained. As the earth settled, we felt their hope in the darkness, and we learned. We twine together. We reach for the sky. We grow. We grow. We grow.
Hey, Envoy. Back with us?
Good fight. Come and get me. Oh, no, don't. Good for you.
Round 10!
Word of advice? Try not to get killed. Again.
Can't say I'm sad to be leaving Paradise. I had no idea how tense things were with the Adirans moving in. And now we have to worry about whether the man who killed you is going to try again.
Believe me, that's a relief. Besides, the Steel Garrote's all too eager to take up that mantle.
Steel Garrote? I figured they're just more intense Adiran soldiers.
They're certainly making their presence known. Can't say they're making any friends, though.
I don't like that Ludwig woman. She gives me the freakus.
Yeah, I've seen floggings gentler than the scolding she gave Hilgard. One's tacking when the other's jibing, if you catch my drift. Taking in the slack is one thing. They look ready to strangle each other with it.
And it's a good thing we're getting out of the city.
Yeah. Much as Liviana misses our company, I wouldn't count on your mysterious friend reviving you a second time.
Are you listening to that friend when you go all blank-eyed from time to time? Does your special friend talk to you? I mean, I had an imaginary friend when I was little, but they never brought me back from the dead.
He means that with all due professional respect, of course.
How do you know this friend doesn't mean us any harm? Unless they have their own use for you. That's what's giving me the shakes.
We're headed to Fior Messi Verno to see if the Animancers know anything about the Dream Scourge, right? Maybe we'll learn something about your condition in the process.
Right. When it comes time to deal with Animancers, you two are on your own.
Just mind how close you get. Their experiments don't always go as planned.
They could stand around and have scholarly debates about souls all they want. Gives me a great opportunity to take a nap.
I haven't been back in a while, but Fior is, an interesting place. It was founded about 50 years ago by a disgraced Valian duke and a handful of Animancers who'd soured on politics in the republics.
Town full of nobles, scholars, and leeches, all surviving off the work of the farmers who grow food for the whole island. Right. You know, present company excluded, and all that.
Don't take it personally. Marius only does this with people he likes.
I'd say something back at you, but I'm just not feeling it for some reason.
See what I mean? Just wait till you meet the Animancers. It turns out that academics are as ungovernable as the rest of us rabble.
They don't understand what they're messing with. They can't tame the wilds with machinery.
They've held it at bay until recently. Their ingenuity, or madness, or heresy, take your pick, has fed a lot of people in the living lands. But, rumor has it, some unnatural blight is destroying their crops. We'll find out soon enough. And while we're in Emerald Stair, there's something I've been putting off. An old friend from my time in Thirdborn had a cabin out in the woods. Tama. He passed a while ago, but he left something for me that I never got around to picking up. But since we'll be in Emerald Stair anyway... You won't regret it. Emerald Stair's lovely this time of year. Even the Delimgon bloom.
No matter what I tell you, you keep picking flowers from things that want to kill you.
Hey, they love me. You just gotta ask nicely. Compliment their foliage.
Right. Maybe buy them a drink before they choke you to death with vines. Well, you came to the right place.
You and I have quite the adventure ahead of us, Envoy. That's the spirit. What about you, Marius? What's next?
I have, you know, things to do back in Paradise. It keeps me plenty busy.
Come to think of it, I haven't been to Emerald Stair in a while, and the Envoy's never been. Know any good guides we could hire?
None that could help the two of you. You need the best guide in the lands to keep you from getting yourselves killed. Now that you mention it, you're gonna need my help if you're traveling through the lands with this Nimdut. I have 2 rules. No campfire songs and no hugs. That last one's non-negotiable.
I hear wiggle room on the singing.
If we're done being ridiculous, we should get some rest. We'll be in Emerald Stair tomorrow.
Good to have you with us, Marius.
Right. Go to bed before you violate the hugging rule.
Oh, would you be a dear and help with the historians? Please.
Crew 10!
Don't get too comfortable. More are on the way.
이삭 소비! Seek!
Oh, fantastic. People. I was about to lose my wits.
A mind's question. The dust of the Akita in her hair. She knocks. We would answer.
You wouldn't happen to have a ladder on hand, would you? Don't take that tone with me, darling. There's a beautiful vase right in those ruins that I cannot reach. And as sharp as my wits are, they are a poor substitute for a ladder. But perhaps we don't need one. You're tall, striking, and well-toned. Oh, of course. Why would a priceless artifact be important? Well, I'm not surprised you don't know of the Godless. But they were here in the Living Lands long before we were. Long before anyone else, as far as I can tell. Give or take a few thousand years. They lived on every corner of the lands. You must have passed a few of their ruins on the way here. The big ones, with spires that look more than a little phallic. A lot of their structures were embedded in the ground. They lived in harmony with the land. I mean, as much as you can live in harmony with a land actively trying to kill you. Maybe it was nicer back then. 30 years of research, and as far as I can tell, they just upped and disappeared one day. Fascinating, right? Well, what's important is that the vase is within my grasp, now that I've a tall, dark, and beautiful stranger to help. You must be fun at parties. There's a vase in this ruin that's too high for me to reach. Fetch it for me. I can pay you in skates if you do. The vase sits atop that tower beside us, in the ruins there. And once you've got it, look me up. Yatsley, wizard extraordinaire, godless expert, and a Balrog in the bedroom.
You do meet the most interesting people.
I can get you 1,000 faces that don't require going into some ancient ruins, but no one listens to me.
This one's mine.
In your sake!
Need a better weapon.
Worse and rough!
Perk up, envoy.
In your sake!
Glad that's over.
Andra's titties, you found it! I tried using magic to get the vase down, but alas. Thankfully, you and your little friends came along and saved the day.
Excuse me, we're all bigger than you are, Nimdude.
I may be small, but my magic is not, I assure you. Of course I can. Are you a wizard as well? Remarkable. An Adiran godlike wizard. You're nearly as fascinating as this godless vase. But I'd best pack up. I want to get home. I have a new artifact to study. Thank you for your help, godlike. Even if you didn't have a ladder.
Well, that's something I hope never happens again.
I've got a few inches to spare if she changes her mind.
The godless and their proclaim. Who puts a vase up? there in the first place.
Granted, I don't come here often, but when did it get this bad?
Everyone okay?
I don't see what's the problem.
If you can't see it, I doubt I can explain it to you.
Tell me another solution that would be half as efficient as that.
What do you mean that's all you've got? Last week you said there'd be grain.
You know what I said. We only have so much to go around.
Are the Animancy starving as well? Or are they sipping tea?
Take it up with the governor. Don't make the rules. Go home. Lay traps in the woods and pray. Pray for game. I can't help you.
We know you're stashing the grain somewhere. Well, let's have it.
There's no stash, as I've told you before. If I had grain, I'd give it to you. I know.
You're the first godlike to come through in... well, I can't remember how long. I hope that's a good sign. I'll take what I can get. If the gods don't bless us with a harvest soon, this market will be empty come winter. You'd think so, but they don't approve of Animancy. Something about undead farmhands makes them nervous. They still buy our crops, mind you, when the harvest's good.
Get there! What's on
Seek! Seek!
I have the shot. Here I go!
Right behind you.
Watch this!
Chrome tank!
Not looking so good. Okay. Come and get me! Hook up, envoy. That it?
There. Tama's old house. Wonder what he wanted me to find. Place feels different without him. He left something behind for me. Help me look around.
One moment.
So much here reminds me of Tama. It's strange to be back without him. I still can't imagine what he wanted me to find. Say, what's that you're holding? Yeah, it is. I carved this for him years ago. I had no idea he'd kept it, let alone. I used to carve things like this all the time. There's no reason Tama would have cared about it. Unless he cared about me. I loved him for years. I never knew he might have felt the same way. And he tells me like this, when he's long gone, leaving me with nothing but a piece of driftwood I gave him years ago. Would be if he just told me. I never gave him any reason to be coy. And we knew each other for years. We were close. I trusted him with things in my past. Things I don't talk about. If he really did, he would have told me. I was a mess when we met. I'd been through the battles in Deadfire and a handful of mercenary campaigns since. I was a chewed-up piece of flotsam drifting to the living lands. Oh, I don't blame him. Tama always saw right through me. He knew what I was. A coward. I let him down. He was always there when I needed him. But when he needed me, I can't ask him now, can I? I'm sorry. I don't mean to take this out on you. That's probably for the best. I appreciate you listening, especially since we haven't talked much, just the two of us. A little fresh air will clear my head.
This one's mine. Armed up.
For your sake!
Not looking. Make way! Be your sake! I'm about done. Be your sake! I owe you. Seek! Oh, no, you don't. Take him down. Hey! Over here! Seek! Seek! Be your sake! Isoksogu! Who's ready for more?
Did that tree just move?
Keep your eyes peeled, Envoy.
Isoksogu! Worse than life!
Someone out there? Hello? Please, I need... You're the Adiran envoy. I'm fine. I just need a moment. I've spotted a number of your people out in the forest. Still Garot, I assume? Please, just continue on your way. I don't need your help, envoy. Neither does Fjord. Fine. Sorry. Thank you. This should at least get me back to Fjord. Thank you, envoy. It's possible I met the one good adherent today. Thank you again for your help.
Here we go!
For my sake!
Look right! Coming from your right!
For your sake!
That's all of them. Listen, Kai, I need you to stalk like a cat, not stomp around like a Balrog.
My training was a lot bigger on stomping than stalking, unfortunately.
Right, and I got...
Hey, about earlier. Sorry for going off like that. I haven't talked about Tom in a while. You and I haven't spent much time getting to know each other. I didn't mean to dive into choppy waters so suddenly. First time for everything, huh? Not a whole lot, and I've been happy keeping it that way. Playing around with essence, poking at souls, trying to move them out of and into places they shouldn't be, it makes me queasy. Though, if we're going to understand the Dream Scourge and your godlike lineage, I suppose we'll have to get comfortable with it. Still, I'm happy to leave those pursuits to other people.
Exactly. Other people. People who are a safe distance away.
Not the same way adherents do. We've got no laws against it. I've just always felt more comfortable with things I can see and grasp for myself. Don't get me wrong, most Animancers are nice enough people.
But even nice people get strange ideas from time to time. My favorite subject. That must have been 6 years ago now. I guess I was drifting, looking for a change. A settlement called Thirdborn. It's a rugged little place, lots of Rawatayan expatriates. It really was. Anyway, we were talking about something else, yeah? I joined up with the Rawatayan Navy as soon as I was old enough. I was part of our campaign to establish a foothold in the Deadfire Archipelago. Starting out, it was exciting, purposeful. I believed in our mission. We were returning to our ancestral homeland, reclaiming fertile soil that would feed Rawatai. Additionally, we were helping Deadfire, bringing organization to the pirate-ridden archipelago and civilization to our distant To add, they're bringing order and civilization to our lawless frontier? Then I hope you learn from my mistakes faster than I did. The Huana didn't want us there. We spent almost as much time fighting the tribes as we did pirates and Wilder. And it was hard to see how any of our fighting and dying was feeding people back home. I'd always heard that war was supposed to temper us, strengthen us, but I didn't see that either. Some fell apart. Some bought into the cruelty that our continued presence required. Others didn't buy into it, but went along with it anyway. And that bothered me more somehow. I deserted. And I bounced between different mercenary companies for almost 10 years. Hey, not all of us catch on so quick. Besides, there were only so many options for a Rawatayan deserter with no training and anything else. As a mercenary, I figured I could at least choose my battles and my crew. He figured it out faster than I did. It was more of the same. The only comfort was being part of a squad. By the time I came to the Living Lands, I'd seen enough, had enough. I did. Yeah, for a while. Look, if I can give you some hard-won advice, stay on your toes. You're in a difficult position. Whatever your role asks of you, make sure it's something you're willing to give. Because you're the one who has to live with the consequences. Hey, advice is easy. The hard part's all you. Check your bedroll for fangworms.
Oh, it's you.
Ah, the Emperor's envoy. Inquisitor Ludwig said you might be heading this way. Captain Alfair of the Steel Garrote. If you're here to speak with Vidaro, I'm afraid you'll find the governor is quite beyond reason. These Valians and their love of animancy. While they theorize and do nothing, the sickness spreads. But worry not, envoy. The Steel Garrote will be ready to ensure the safety of Adirian interests when the time comes. We all have our part to play, envoy. Until later.
She's as subtle as a broadside.
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, Amica. Well, I was not expecting such an esteemed guest. Welcome back. Care to take a look around?
Is that Gelarde?
This is star metal. Very rare stuff. Where did you get this? Nay, don't tell me. I'd be tempted to go looking for some more, and that would certainly not end well. Star metal is exceptionally dense. It weighs much more than one would think from its size. More fascinating, however, is that this metal is suffused with dormant essence. This makes it naturally susceptible to enchantment. No. Unfortunately, I don't know how to work the metal into anything useful. Only enchant it. I did receive a shipment from Sola's Keep recently, however. A mace crafted out of star metal, brought to me by a trader from Galawain's Tusks. I suggest you make your way there if you're looking for someone to work that beautiful metal into a proper weapon.
Galawain's tusks? Come on, it can't be that complicated. I bet you 5 skates a Smith and Thirdborn would know what to do with this stuff. And I'll take your money, eventually.
Is there anything else I can help you with, Amica? Nay, not really. But not all of us in Fjord are animancers, you know. Besides, under normal circumstances, I'd not sell to a traveler like yours. Hello, welcome to my fine establishment, Amica.
Giata, what's the meaning of this?
Look at... How can you ignore what's right in front of you? The Dream Scourge is here, in the soil, and it's killing us. Oh my goodness. Are you a godlike? In that case, you're right on time.
Maybe you can talk some sense into our governor. Put the fear of the gods in him.
Tempers are high, but I don't see any assassins. Yet.
Excuse me, but unless you have official business, I'll thank you not to involve yourself in our private discussion. Very well. I hope you remember that behind these walls, your influence has limits.
I'm sure she didn't come all this way just to challenge your authority. As you can see, I was just proving a point to our esteemed governor.
A cart full of spoiled vegetables. You call that a point?
Ha! Emerald Stair used to be a lush garden for miles around, and now I don't even recognize it. First came the invasive species, roots and mycelium growing overnight, as though nature itself had gone mad. The Dream Scourge has twisted our lands, our wildlife, and now, our farms.
We can't lose our heads over some half-cocked speculation.
I believe that we can restore the land, bring back its soul and its sanity, cut off the Dream Scourge at the root. Our governor would rather ignore the problem. He doesn't trust Animancy as his father did. Before we can deal with the Dream Scourge, we first need to understand it. Unfortunately, new experiments have to go through him.
Once again, bureaucracy stands in the way of getting things done.
I'm just trying to stop Giata from hurting herself. Animancy is dangerous when you're shooting in the dark. I see you're unfamiliar with Animancy. Be careful with your assumptions. Are you going to tell her about your family's basement? Or should I?
How dare you use that against me?
I know it was an accident, but look what it cost you. We can't let it happen again.
While we argue among ourselves, the Dream Scourge is tearing the living lands apart. Tearing our people apart. Really? Unexpected from an Adiran. But how could I refuse an offer like that? Well, Governor, looks like I'm taking some time away from my duties. I'll trouble you no more.
Your request is denied, Giata.
I wasn't asking.
Your responsibilities are to the settlement. Turning away from them sets a precedent that I cannot allow.
Everything I have proposed has been for Fior, and you still refuse to cooperate. Under the circumstances, I don't have much of a choice.
Then neither do I. Giata Castel, from this day forth, you are banished from Fior Messiverno.
Banished?
What?
Ignacy, we can't lose our brightest animancer in the middle of a crisis.
Your pupil has gone too far, Quilici. Take her and leave. You're still a guest in my town, but to us, Giata is an outcast.
Governor, this is unacceptable. Your father would have kept this community together at any cost.
Don't bother, old man. He isn't his father. I've done all I can for Fior Messiverno. But you haven't even tried. Now limp back to your giant house like a good dog. We should talk somewhere private. Meet me at my house due west by the workshop.
I'll find us another bedroom.
I'm sorry you had to see that. What an asshole.
Giata, some manners, if you please.
Why start now?
We're on the verge of extinction, but our governor is too busy protecting his fragile ego. What does he know? He isn't even an Animancer.
You did challenge his authority.
I know, but... curses. Without Fior Messiverno, I'm hardly even an Animancer. My tools, the workshop, all gone. We'll have fewer resources to work with, but anything's possible. At least now I'm free to study whatever I want, on my terms. The Dream Scourge has been a thorn in my side for too long. Straight to business then. I can respect that. When it comes to the Dream Scourge, we haven't been allowed to acknowledge the problem, much less act on a solution. Today, that changes. I need help from the Animancers around town, but as you can see, I'm an outcast. Glad to hear it. Your education should come in handy. Manto Pastor is in the workshop due west. He's got an invention that can help us. Elia Rossell is an authority on the undead. Her methods are controversial, but useful. She lives in a cottage southeast of town. And then there's Yvette and Remy, our philosophers. You'll find them at the docks, southeast of Fjord. Each of them owes me a favor. Drop my name and they'll tell you what they know about the Dream Scourge. We're about to make history. But first, research.
Not much of a hunter. Might want to get extra rations next time we go shopping.
Godlike, imperial.
Imperial envoy, research assistant. Who knew?
Careful! Or we'll get thrown out of the pub!
We're all ready. Ado, welcome to my fine.
Found the machine.
Oh, I heard there was a new arrival, but I didn't expect a godlike. Welcome to our modest... Giada. What a loss. Unfortunately, I cannot do a lick of research while my equipment is... Yes, her theory of the dream scourge, I'm quite familiar. What I need is a strong... Grimoires can hold intense power, but not for long. Besides, grimoires require a wizard to draw in essence. It's too Oh, wait. One of our rangers reported that an Adragon recently died. Indeed, but that well is almost dry. I need more. An Adragon's heart can hold an immense amount of essence. The grove is to the west, across the chasm. You can't miss it. The rangers say a Delamgan queen holds court there. You may be able to So, you can understand why none of us went rushing over there to find it when we... Still, Delamgan queens can be reasoned with, so... Do be careful. Emerald Stair is not itself the...
Well, let's go. That Atragon's heart isn't gonna yank itself out.
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, I mean.
You ever think, what if I wasn't alive?
Yeah, I pretty much brought that plague bear down by myself.
Did you now?
The Adra stirs, a crackle of light in a wind. We recoil. We are... Murmurs of madness, fright. Our we wiltly gnaw with hunger now. What has come of this place? We feel them. They bend and hope. What are these rituals? A new tongue. A harvest grows. The dead rise. What do they hope to achieve? Set what has been broken. Soothe the pain. They build walls in their hearts. Why do they not share what they make? Punished, cast out. We peer through the murky water in vain. The bitter tincture heals. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. We have learned much. Dream of soaring wings.
As if people weren't hungry enough.
A godlike in Emerald Stair. Well, well.
I'd offer to shake your hand, but I've been elbow deep in Beatrice all day. Beatrice, you know, as you can see, this is my reanimated corpse farm.
Oh, and what do you use for fertilizer?
I'm trying to demonstrate the value of undead labor, but of course not. What am I supposed to do? Just let them decompose? Reanimated corpses are the future of manual labor. Cost-effective, low maintenance. Now, Beatrice, she's being a real problem, if you can believe it. Would you be a... Giatta Castel wants my professional opinion. I have to ask, is it true? Did Vidaro kick her out of town? He's a bigger fool than I thought. Very well. I'll tell you what I know about the... I'm up to my ears in chores around here, and the Revenants can only do so much. They can't do complicated tasks, you see. Anyway, I'm afraid the time has come to put down poor Silvo. Silvo is one of my Revenants. My oldest, my favorite, and the pride of my flock. Someone needs to put a poor fellow out to pasture. And I just...
Well, it's already dead. That's the hard part done right there.
When a Revenant goes bad, there's only one option. Thank you for understanding. You can find Silvo in the barn. He's blocked the door somehow, but the window should be open. Just be gentle with him. He's a good boy.
So, we're killing a Revenant then? She just couldn't come out and say that?
And this is why I don't take pets.
Nice job, everyone.
I saw you reach into Beatrice. Find anything. Poor Silvo. He was a bright young Revenant, but a very old man. So, the Dream Scourge. I've been keeping an eye on the readings from my fields. This plague, as we know it, is a recent development. The exotic plants and animals, the twisted landscape, the dream scourge, they have a common ancestor. There's something about the essence in the living lands that's different from anywhere else I've seen. And end up like Giata? No, thank you. The corpses, they need me. Not to get too superstitious, but in these troubled times, the arrival of a godlike is no coincidence. You are meant to be here. Toward what end, only you can say. Well, I'm happy to give her some good news for a change. You and Giata are going to shake things up. As for me, I'll be keeping a close eye on my flock.
Oh, and thank you for the nightmare fuel. I really have been sleeping entirely too well lately.
I'm remembering why people find this place unsettling.
The great mystery is...
Remy, look what I found. A genuine godlike.
Do you think they can hear us?
Let's find out. Hello, me, Yvette. You friend? Remy, take a note. The endangered godlike's vacant gaze betrays an unquenchable thirst for violence. We heard that Giada partnered up with an outsider, but I had no idea you were a godlike. Fascinating.
It's just that we've never met a godlike before. This is a big day for us.
Giada must have sent you to be our test subject. She knows how we adore your kind. Satisfy our curiosity and we'll give you everything Giada needs to finish her research. Deal? We want to know about the godlike, of course. You're the first one we've encountered in the wild.
Let's begin the examination. If you could choose, who or what would you be in your next life? Next time you go around the wheel, you might not get so lucky.
Who wouldn't? My turn. Some would call you blessed. Others would call you cursed. The fact remains, you are touched by the gods. Wouldn't you say that you owe something to the rest of us? Weren't you?
Oh, I thought of another. We all know that godlike can't reproduce. How do you plan on leaving a legacy after you're gone? Oh, didn't anyone tell you? Well, it's a good thing we're here to remind you. Shame you had to learn it from us. Do you have an answer or not? Yvette, take a note. Godlike are inherently uncooperative. Approach with caution. I think that covers everything. Thank you for that brilliant insight, Godlike. You're a credit to your dwindling kind.
So, Giada wants to know all about the Dream Scourge, yes? Such has been her research of late. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
The Dream Scourge is proof that an unprecedented metaphysical disaster can take place at any time.
Oh, that's a load off my mind. Sure beats not constantly worrying about the future.
How's that good news?
Giada will be interested to learn that the Dream Scourge cannot just be studied in a lab. Its nature is wild, so it has to be studied in the wild. Our machines and experiments would meddle with it too much.
And like anything affecting the soul, it must be connected to essence. Thus, if she wishes to discover more about the Dream Scourge, a Pillar of Adra would be a good place to start.
Precisely. A godlike and a scholar, too. Incredible.
Indeed. Just as Adra channels essence, so too may it provide a key to discovering more about the Dream Scourge.
Not that we'd ever be interested in such research, of course. How droll. Now that we've researched the mind of a godlike, the next step is anatomy. But we've taken enough of your time. Farewell. Did you hear
Hurry, before they change their minds.
Ugh, I might have
Wonder if she needs a new
dozed off
research
there
partner.
for a bit.